Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first time trying this evolution engine. I guess you could call it named Evolution. I have seen several YouTube videos on this, and the one that really got me to try it out was one by Blitz, and I'll put a link to it in the description for this video on YouTube. But the reason why that one put me over the edge on it, deciding, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try this, is because he was trying to make some sort of something with wheels and get the wheels to move, and he did a pretty decent job on it. But I was thinking, well, I could see some room for some improvements, and so I wrote a little comment on his video, hoping that he might see that. I haven't checked to see whether or not he did see it yet, by the way. But at any rate, I got thinking later on, based on this comment, that maybe I could do something even more interesting than what I was talking to him about. So let me run a physics test first, because this is a physical environment, and the question is, does it behave like our physical environment? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in what they call joints here. I would just call it a nub or an end point until it's actually between two bones, because it isn't much of a joint when it's not hinging anything. But that is what they're called in here. And I'm going to just stick 4 of these out here, something like this. And let's see. Here, let me add to that. I'm going to put another one here, and another one here, and another one here. I've got something in mind, specific, what this is going to look like. Now, this isn't going to be to walk around or run or jump or anything like that. This simulation, this physics engine, does actually generate a neural network, and then evolves that neural network to try to accomplish certain tasks. But right now I'm just doing a physics test. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect some bones here. I'm going to make a triangle to fall down and stand on the ground here. And on this side, another triangle to fall down and stand on the ground. And those should be relatively solid. But what I want to find out is just how solid these bones are. In other words, do they bend or change lengths? Now, I don't think they bend at all, but I do think that they can change lengths a little bit, that they're a little bit elastic in that sense. And so I'm going to connect this to here, and that to there, and that to there, and this to here. Now, if I connect this across here, the length of this one should stay the same. There's nothing really that's going to even try to change that. But I'm going to put a bone also between this one and this one. Now, when it drops down, when I start the engine running and it drops down, this bottom one should hit the ground, and the weight of all this stuff should cause that to push upward on this middle bone, and that would lift this other one up. Now, to find out whether or not it's lifting it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on move, and I'm going to move this down to just below the center of the straight line. And now I'm going to go ahead and click evolve, and that'll run the simulation. And sure enough, it actually had to lengthen those two top bars connected to that piece, and slightly shorten the bottom ones in order to do what it did, to push it up like that. So the triangles didn't maintain their shape. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to make this a little more extreme and see if it's still able to do it. I'm going to go down about here and click it again. And well, that tipped over my triangles, but it did look like it did deform before it bounced. So I'm going to go move again, and I'm going to try to widen these triangles, these weight triangles here, just to try to keep them from falling over so easily. And try that one more time. Evolve. And yeah, it did actually, it pushed it down and then it bounced it back. So like I said, apparently they're kind of elastic. That's what I was thinking. So now, clear that. How do I clear this? I don't see a clear anything up here. What's this? Pre-made things. Creatures, where it was. That cleared it. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, joint. And I'm going to try to make a wheel of sort. So let me start with a base. That's going to be a base. And let's see. I'm going to make a center point here, which I'll remove later. That's just for visual reference while I throw the rest of these in here so I can line them up pretty nicely. And make a nice little hexagon for starters. And then I'm going to go outside of that here and add in, let's see, another one up there and over here and out here and here and there and there. And these aren't perfectly positioned. I can line them up a little better. But they're not, basically they just have to be in between these other ones. Exactly how far they're sticking out or not sticking out isn't really all that important. I don't think it is anyway. And I'll show you why. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the hexagon like this. And then I'm going to connect those other ones to make sort of squishy triangular faces. And that was the main reason why I wanted to check the physics, so I know what kind of a universe I'm dealing with. Now, I do know that the muscles in here have a push feature, which biological muscles, none that I know of, can do that. They can pull, they can't push. And so that is an interesting sort of unique feature of this. It's not really simulating biology, obviously. I'm not sure what it is supposed to be simulating. The evolution, of course, is real evolution. But notice each change I make in here adds to the evolution of this shape. Of course, you start with something, you add one change to it. That's not evolution yet, but you add a second change. Yeah, that's evolution. That's as two changes added together is as small of a amount of evolution as you can make and still call it evolution legitimately. So now for the muscles, and I'm going to do, let's see, this here, 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 there, and here, here, and here. And I want to explain this a little for those who haven't seen this at all and don't know exactly what that is. Basically, the muscles have to connect to a bone, and you might notice they always connect to the center of the bone. I think there should have been bones that connect them on the ends. Again, there are some things about the physics I'm not that terribly sure of yet, but they won't really matter for this wheel. I am planning a video after this one where I'm going to try to make something really simple, and I do want to run a test for that to see whether or not the orientation of the bone to the muscle is maintained or whether or not it matters. So at any rate, okay, I've got that direction. Now I'm going to connect this direction. So let's see, from here to there. All right, yeah, that'll be right. Okay, here to here, and then here to here, and this bone to this bone. Then connect this bone to this bone, and this bone to this bone, and this bone to this bone. Now, the people who think that, there's either evolution or there's intelligent design, think again, because I have at least some intelligence. I'm not saying I'm overwhelmingly full of the stuff or anything, but I have at least some, and I am designing this, so that is intelligent design. But at the same time, again, every time I add another change to it, that becomes part of its evolution. So the evolution is happening and the intelligent design is happening in this particular case. Now, when it comes to biology, I don't know of any evidence whatsoever that there's any intelligent design that's gone on in biological evolution up until, basically up until humans came along and started manipulating the evolution of plants and animals by, selective breeding and things like that. So, and that, of course, is very obvious. So, at any rate, okay, connect that, and this should be the last one right here, and there. That is my evolved and designed 12-sided sort of wheel, and it's already selected the running by default. So I'm going to go ahead and click on evolve, and there it is, evolving. Or actually, it's not evolving right now. What it's doing is it's testing it out. And now that there's a best of that first generation, I'll in the edit, I'll switch over to that. And there's the second generation best of, and you can see that it actually is starting to roll already, which it's not bad. Well, they're crumpled a little bit. Here's the thing: it starts out with a neural net that is basically random. It has a certain size neural net, and you can change that before you start the thing. I didn't tweak that or anything, but it's randomized when you start out. And in this case, it was set to a population of 50 per generation. So you should be seeing just the best of each generation, meaning the one that made it the farthest to the right, because that's the direction it's testing for to see if they were able to move in. And those that do the best job of that sort of get rewarded for that by having the genes for their neural network passed on to more offspring, or having a better chance of their genes being passed on to an offspring. And basically, I read in a help file for this thing somewhere. I think it was a help file. Anyway, I read somewhere that what was I going to say? I forgot. Any rate, okay, it basically randomizes the first. Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say. It randomizes the first generation, and then for the next generation, it randomly picks like two parents, and it splits their set of neural net genes. It's got like a binary representation of the neural net. It splits that in the same place for both parents and makes two offspring out of the two parents by swapping one random section with the other of the same position. And so you end up with some swapping going on. Each pair of them is made from a random pair of parents with a slightly higher tendency to pick from ones that have a better score, a better fitness score. In other words, they manage to do better at the given task. In this case, rolling. And so there we are. We're up to generation 18, showing best of generation 18. I'm actually looking at generation 19, 20 right now, but I'm planning to edit this and just show the best of, because with these 50 things on here all at once, it's kind of a menagerie. And so as you can see, it does roll. And that's basically all I wanted to do for this episode. I don't really expect that's anything all that terribly exciting, but I will do some more of these. And thanks for watching. You know what? Before I go, let me do something else. I want to show something else. I am going to clear this again. Let's see. How did I do that last time? Pick one of these and go back to creature. I want to show you something. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. Because here's the thing. This program does not evolve the form of the creature at all. I need joints first. It only evolves the neural net. So there, I've got one piece on there. I add a second one, that's a change. Add a third one, well then I've got a change added to a change. So now it's evolution, and I can continue evolving it by adding another change and another change and another change and another change, just like I did last time. Now I'm going to delete the center one, and I'm going to do let's see here. I want to move these closer together first. Let's see, that pretty even. Yeah, that'll do, I think. Okay, so I've got my arrangement for a little hexagon, and I'm going to put the bones in like this. Now, to make this rotate, to make it turn into a wheel and rotate, if possible. It might just roll just like this. I can envision several different ways that it could roll, but I'm going to give this a try and find out. I'm going to connect with the muscle. Then I'm going to connect the muscles from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here, and then from this bone to this bone, which you really won't see connecting because it's right in the center, and then this one to this one, and this one to this one. So I've got 6 muscles, 6 bones, 6 joints, and going to hit evolve. And there we are. It's kind of a wheel, but it's not rolling, it's bouncing. Oh well, it's starting to roll now. All right, enough of that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll check out my next episode when I'm going to try to make the simplest creature possible in here. Bye.